Hello, welcome to World of Women, brought to you by the Women's Company. I'd like to welcome Diya Kapoor today, who's joining us to talk about all things fitness. Could you please just introduce yourself in a line or two so that we get clarity on exactly how you can help us with our fitness goals?
Okay. Hi, Anika. It's great to be here. So my name is Diya Kapoor, and I am a certified yoga teacher, as well as now a certified Mat 1 Pilates teacher. So that's one level of Pilates.
Okay,
There's a
yeah.
difference.
So as we go on, we'll probably get more clarity about
Yeah,
that.
sure.
So, Diya, I'm just going to dive into a bunch of questions which we've crowdsourced. Questions that people have about yoga and about the practice. So, the first one is, how do I get myself to start yoga if I've never done it before?
The answer is very simple. You just get a mat and start. I mean, it's pretty. The beauty of yoga is that literally anybody could do it. I mean, there is absolutely no pre-certification or sort of physical requirement needed to start it. You would be better off with a decent teacher, and then that's it. Just bring yourself and your mat and get there.
But is there a particular type of fitness level or a stamina level that you have to be at to be able to start yoga? I mean, for people who've never exercised, it's a bit intimidating to think about any kind of fitness schedule.
So actually, I think that yoga is probably the only exercise that I would suggest to a person who has never done exercise before. And believe it or not, I have met some of these people, which are rare in today's day and age, because nowadays most people have something or the other that they like to do physically. So yoga is probably the safest way to start, because it can be, I mean, it is basically an exercise that can be super gentle on the body and can go as challenging as you need to. So you can really start with base level 0, not much muscle control, not much muscle strength, not much flexibility, not much experience with movement, and go from there, because you can go baby steps, and minimum risk of injury or any kind of side effect of any sort. Yeah.
So there's a question, which one is, how do we know which is better for our body, yoga or Pilates?
I don't think you can really choose, because I think they both give you different things. One of the best things you get from yoga is that lengthening of your body and flexibility. It really teaches you to open everything, which is the best part of it. And because you're able to open everything, you're able to do a lot more in terms of other movements, whether it's daily lifestyle activities like pick up your kids' toys or go grocery shopping or do your weights, or I mean, it could be anything. So really the movements that you learn in yoga and the suppleness that your body gets helps you in activities on a daily basis. Similarly, Pilates does the same thing, except I think Pilates is much more focused on strength. I wouldn't call Pilates a relaxing exercise. You won't come out of a Pilates class and say, I feel relaxed. You come out feeling strong. And that's fantastic. You get two different things from each of them.
Maybe it's also where you're at in your life and what you need out of that particular, exercise at that point. Do you need to just unwind and, relax? Or do you need something to actually focus and,
correct.
I guess, distract you from...
Distract you enough, exactly.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
There are also different types of yoga, and if you could just give us a little bit of an overview on what the types are and how do we know which is correct for each person?
Yeah. So I'll tell you the few branches that I am like that most people are well aware of. And then of course now there's so many different kinds, because yoga has just exploded in the West, East, everywhere. So there's Hatha Yoga, and Hatha Yoga is what you call classic yoga. This is what I learned when I went to the Yoga Institute in Bombay. It is clean, classic, learning your postures, all the different kinds of postures, back and forward. Then it's not flow, it's not vinyasa, it's classic postures. Then there's what they call vinyasa flow or Ashtanga yoga, which is based on a more flow-based movement. Flow-based means you attach one posture to the next, to the next, to the next, and you don't really stop. You kind of keep moving the body non-stop until the end of the session. Third kind of yoga now people talk about is Iyengar yoga, which of course is super famous because of B.K.S. Iyengar. He created this wonderful way of being able to teach yoga to people who had injuries, who maybe had suffered from various ailments. And so they have a whole system of pulleys and things that are attached to the wall and the ceiling and all kinds of things where you get a lot of support to practice. So these are support-based asanas. It's a totally different style. So, for example, I cannot teach an Iyengar class because I don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to use that apparatus. It's a very different style. And then, of course, now everyone is watching that movie on Bikram Yoga. So Bikram Yoga is another form. It's hot yoga, where the whole idea is to lock yourself into a room, close the windows, the temperature is about 40 degrees centigrade, and you do your yoga in that heat. And it's again, I think it's about 12 postures or 15 postures. There's a certain number, and there are only those postures that are repeated in every single class. So different styles. Why or how do you choose the yoga what works for you? I would say always start with the simplest, start with Hut, because it's just straightforward and simple. You kind of get your foundation. And then once you're comfortable with that, I feel like, why not try? So always good to try, dabble and see what you like. Some people love hot yoga. Some people can't stand it. So it really depends on your personality. And like you said earlier with the Pilates, what you're looking for. Did my son just get in that?
No worries. So if I start yoga today, when will I start seeing its results?
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks?
Really? You start yoga today, in 2 weeks, you will come and tell me the difference. I don't have to ask you. You will tell me the difference in your skin, in your sleep, and in your digestion. These 3 things.
Wow. Okay. I feel like you're challenging me here, Diya, personally.
I am challenging you.
Yeah.
I always want you to come
absolutely.
back to me.
So how, there's a question here, how is yoga different from stretching or any other kind of, because everyone thinks that yoga primarily is a lot about stretching and, therefore, easing up certain muscles, etc. So how is it different from that?
So in many ways, it's not different because, a lot of yoga, 50% of what you do in your class is stretching. It is, but I would say it's deep stretching and it's focused. So you choose, you stretch in a particular way, in a particular sequence. You move your muscles in a particular way to open things up. And the stretching is not just based on, this is feeling stiff, so let me open it. It's actually because there's certain organs that need to be like compressed in certain areas, and if you hold that for a certain number of breaths, then the blood circulation stops and then you reinvigorate blood to that area. So it's based on a lot of scientific study by the early yogis and all these people that learned it and taught, it trickled down. So it's not just stretching. We don't just stretch. So you will also do holding asanas where you're not really just stretching, you're also engaging. So plank, side plank, forearm plank, very engaging movements. You're not stretching anything in a plank. You are holding, you're engaging everything, both pose. So these are very classic examples of how it's not just push and pull.
People feel that it's a lot of slower movement, that it's stretching, but it's not. It's actually engaging, and there is more hardcore, muscle tension, etc. that happens as well during the workout, right?
Yeah. So I've seen people just moving slowly with me after 20 minutes, sweating more than they do after 20 minutes of a treadmill.
And the last question I have today, Diya, is how are yoga and meditation linked? Interesting one.
It's brain, body, mind. So it's, body, soul, and mind. So I think for me, at least in my journey with yoga, the more I got connected to my body and my breath, the more I wanted to, it's very meditative in its nature. In yoga, you are always asked, at least I'm always asking my students to connect with themselves. So it's all about you. It's like really introspective. So as you're moving, you're breathing, you're following your breath, you're listening, you're looking at your body. So you can't help but turn into like this weird, sort of meditative state of mind. It's called actually meditation in motion. That's one of the ways to describe yoga, that you are just moving in this amazing movement of listening to your body and your blood and turning inside. You're just inwards. That's how it's connected, I suppose.
I think that there is a strong link. People who tend to do yoga do talk a lot about meditation, spirituality. It's almost like it sets them off on a path. It's not necessarily always the case, but I found that with a lot of people who you talk to, there is definitely a connection between the two.
So that's the beauty of it. It's like the prize magical element that comes to you when you're ready. Nobody has to tell you to do it. It just happens. And then you see how much more there is. It's like that iceberg, that the tip of the iceberg, and what you see up above the water is just your shoulder stand. And all the real stuff is underneath. And that's where the meditation is. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Diya, for joining us today. And we're going to come back and do more sessions with you on specific symptoms, specific issues related to women. So I look forward to having you back again. And thank you so much for today.